a horrifying murder of a family that will make your blood run cold. Who took the lives of the 3 adults and 2 little children? Don't miss out. The psychics will find the killer werewolf. This is Psychic Investigations. Only true and impressive stories are collected here. These are resonant criminal cases and unbelievable paranormal anomalies. People who call themselves clairvoyants investigate them. In this episode, medium Anna Galliers heads for a tiny village in western Ukraine where a terrible murder happened.
The bodies of the 5 members of the Novak family were found in one of the local houses. All of them were brutally stabbed.
Nobody could even think this could ever happen. Such things have never happened in our village.
The victims are 32-year-old Roman Novak, the father of the family, his 28-year-old wife Tetiana, and their 2 children, 4-year-old Vera and 10-month-old Nazar. The man's 52-year-old mother, Anna Novak, who lived with her son's family, was also found dead.
All of them had stab wounds on their bodies and slash cuts on their throats.
According to the forensic examination, all the family members died from excessive bleeding.
No valuables were stolen from the house. The family had no debts or conflicts with anybody. A criminal case was started over a brutal murder.
This is little Vera playing with her brother Nazar. The boy took his first steps only a few weeks ago. The video was shot a month before the awful tragedy that took the lives of these little angels and their parents and grandmother.
It was very hard for all of us.
The Novaks were an ordinary country family. Roman drilled wells, while Tetiana was a seamstress and had spent the recent year on maternal leave. Roman's mother, Anna, was a saleswoman at the local grocery.
The children were so nice. The girl had curly hair and was very pretty. It's a great tragedy for the entire village. It was a decent family, and they all died.
Roman's elder brother Ruslan lost peace of mind with the Novak family's death. His house is only 300 meters away from the place where the horrific tragedy occurred.
I look there all the time. I'm hoping to see Mom or Roman appear from the house.
Roman was 3 years younger than Ruslan. They lost their father when they were young boys. The man was hit by a train. The mother raised the boys all by herself.
When someone close to you dies, you don't know what to do. But when the whole family of your dearest people is gone, I can't even express it with words.
The man's only support now is his family, his wife, Mariana, and 12-year-old son, Alexander. The boy can't even speak of the tragedy, as he lost his 2 cousins, who were as close as siblings to him.
I'm now trying to avoid the house because the place terrifies me a lot.
We're in terror because we don't know who did it.
We contacted the psychics, Anna Galliers to be more precise. I really hope she can help.
I have a vision. A street. It's dark and I see almost nothing. A huge hound of unbelievable size emerges in front of me. Its eyes are bloodshot and it's growling like a werewolf. But the dog seems to be ignoring me. It's standing on the front step of a house. Then it turns around and rushes into the house. My goodness, there are the people from the photo inside, and I hear screams. It's tearing those people apart. This is horrific.
People have been gathering in front of the Novak's house since early morning, waiting for the psychics. This man, Vasil, who is Tetiana's brother, is waiting nervously. He has cerebral palsy, but he's trying to live like everyone else. He always helped his sister and was little Vera's godfather.
I spent a lot of time with her. I could take her to a football game or here or to the rides. Her first words weren't dad or mom, but Vujko, that is, an uncle.
Hello.
Hello. Hello?
I really hope you can help us.
Can I come into the yard?
Sure, sure.
There's a girl spirit in front of me. She's fair-haired and
The girl is Vera.
she's pointing at the swing as if asking me to swing her.
She loved that swing. It was Vera's favorite spot.
The girl isn't the only spirit here. There's also a little boy. He's dark-haired.
And that's her little brother.
I saw a woman's figure. She was all bluish and the expression on her face was terrible. I couldn't even imagine who she was and why she'd come. The boy's spirit is going somewhere. I'm following him. My God. There's a woman's body here. It feels like she was struggling before she died. She's holding a baby in her arms. It's a murdered boy. It's like she was trying to defend him from the beast that was murdering them.
Yes, Tatiana was found here with Nazar, her little son, who was less than a year old.
He was supposed to have his first birthday in 3 days.
There are other dead people in the house. There's an elderly woman here. She was sleeping.
Mom was sleeping there.
The beast runs into the room and throws her down to the floor, and it's like it digs its claws into her body. She's stabbed multiple times.
Mom had lots of stab wounds.
Indeed, the body of Anna Novak, Roman and Ruslan's mother, was found in the kitchen. While the woman was sleeping, the murderer threw her down to the floor and stabbed her 12 times.
We need to go there. There's someone else there. Oh my God, there's a man's body here. He's all bloodied. His throat is slashed.
It was my brother.
According to the local police, Roman Novak's body was found on the floor of the living room. The man was lying face up.
And the girl whose spirit I saw in the yard. She was lying here dead, but not on the floor. Was there something here?
The couch.
The child's throat was cut without any mercy. Oh my goodness, I can't. It's a nightmare. The murderer had no mercy, even on the children. He cut them. I can't be here anymore. Give me water. When the family was found, the door wasn't locked.
It wasn't locked. It was closed but not locked.
According to Ruslan, Roman, Tatiana, and Anna, almost never left the door unlocked because they had small children in their house. Therefore, we can assume somebody else didn't lock it. It was probable that the person had been watching the family and sneaked inside the house while someone of them was entering. Or one of the family members let them in, but in this case, they had to know the murderer well.
Wait. You were suspected of the murder of your sister and her family. And I feel powerful guilt emanating from you. You were the last to see them alive.
Indeed, Tatiana's brother Vasil was among the suspects.
I was the last person who visited them. I left at about 4 in the afternoon and went home.
Hold on, I see the murderer's hand gripping the knife. He's holding it in his right hand.
The police also found that the murderer was right-handed.
And you, Vasil, couldn't hold the knife in your right hand because it's not functioning properly because of your condition.
It's true that Vasil is left-handed. His right hand is partially paralyzed. He can move it a little, but it's too hard for him to take or carry things in it.
The investigators checked if Vasil could be connected to the murder of the Novaks, and it turned out that he had an alibi.
What kind of vehicle was here? There are 2 people in it. Both are men. One is young and the other is elderly. Oh God, the older one. He's standing over the bodies of Tatiana and the infant, and he dashes out of the yard.
Uncle came.
The uncle came to take the family somewhere. He and Roman had arranged that the other day.
As it turned out, Mikhailo, Ruslan's uncle, and his son arrived at the Novaks at 6:30 in the morning.
They were supposed to go to the monastery.
The monastery where Roman and his family were going to go is in a town 15 kilometers away. The man wanted to take his family there to see the sermon by a priest who was visiting the town those days.
At that moment, a very strange voice whispered to me, "Too late." And then there was a horrible whimper, like that of a dog. I got seriously scared. After the uncle ran out of the yard, he took his phone with trembling hands and called an ambulance and the police.
Yes, an ambulance and the police, yes.
The police officers began checking where the man had been and what he had been doing before he informed of what he'd found.
I saw a woman. The woman started laughing awfully. It was like laughter from another world. Now I see that there's somebody who saw the murderer, and they're somewhere nearby.
But who could that be? The police claim there are no witnesses to the tragedy.
It's not a human, but an animal. A dog.
Yes, there is a dog.
The dog saw the murderer.
Usually, the dog is in the front yard, but today, Ruslan tied him in the backyard so he won't hinder the investigation.
The dog was in the back. He could see the street and who entered the yard.
The dog knows something, but I can't speak to animals. I have a colleague, Olena Stetsenko. She speaks to animals. We need to call her.
Okay.
Come on.
The hereditary Mulfer Olena Stetsenko, luckily, happened to be nearby, so she immediately joined the investigation.
Olena, these are the victim's relatives.
I'm so sorry. It's a great loss.
Olena, let's go see the dog. He's our only witness.
This is a ritual strip that helps me speak to animals. Don't be afraid, show me the truth. Show me who you saw. My God, this is so awful. He showed me red eyes and a huge furry dog. It's like a werewolf.
Just like her colleague, the clairvoyant also saw a werewolf, but what kind of entity is that?
The werewolf. It had been walking in this yard for a long, long time. At that moment, I felt the murderer close by to me. I feel the murderer's energy. It's very similar to yours.
It turned out that many of the villagers also suspect Ruslan of the murder of his brother's family and their mother. But is it really so?
Ruslan, I need to see your house. Roman and his brother were separated due to a disagreement. It felt like Roman accused his brother of murder.
He claimed my wife poisoned his dog.
Ruslan had an old dog. Several days before the tragedy, Roman dropped by in the morning and didn't see the dog at his place.
And so Roman began shouting at me, saying it was me and my wife who poisoned the dog.
But it turned out the dog simply broke the leash and ran away. However, nobody understands why Roman thought it was his brother's wife who poisoned the dog.
Did you reconcile?
Yes.
Ruslan has no blood on his hands. But then why did I keep feeling that his energy was similar to the murderer's?
The police checked to see if Ruslan could be involved in the murder of the family, but this version wasn't confirmed.
A woman is connected to your family's deaths. I feel like she provoked a conflict.
It was Sunday. He returned from the church very irritable and started shouting at Titiana. I thought I didn't want to hear that and told him to calm down. Then I went home. But he called me 2 hours later and asked me not to tell anyone about the scandal. He said they had reconciled and everything was fine.
He thought the boy wasn't his son. I asked him, "Who told you that?" But he refused to answer.
Roman blamed Tetiana for unfaithfulness, claiming somebody had told him at the church that Nazar wasn't his son. Vasil recalls that his sister cried bitterly and felt deeply offended.
He calmed down, and after I went home later that day, he called me and apologized. He said it was fine. Thank God, I thought.
Somebody lied to Roman. It was done to slander Tetiana. He was being annoyed on purpose. There was a woman in the house when the murder occurred. Roman began communicating with the woman in the morgue not long before his family was murdered.
Did Roman tell you? Did he tell you he was seeing a woman?
Mom told me after he took away Aunt.
As it turned out, almost 2 weeks before the tragedy, the brother's aunt died from a stroke.
Roman went to the morgue to take his aunt's body. Right? And then, after that, he saw the woman and felt a dead body's scent.
He said she was haunting him. Mom said he couldn't sleep at night.
He called and asked to take him to the monastery, and so they arranged to go there on Monday.
So, Roman wanted to go to the monastery himself to speak to the priest because he felt very bad. And when his uncle arrived to pick him up, he saw this nightmare.
The woman. She's next to me. She's running over there to the house.
It was like I was taken back in time to the night of the tragedy. I feel the werewolf. I feel it in the house. It's playing with Roman. It possesses his mind. It's in. It ran in this room. The woman and the infant are sleeping. The woman jumps up, she grabs the baby, she runs, but the devil is chasing her. He's tearing her apart. She falls on the threshold, and the devil turns around and enters here. There's a woman in here. She's elderly. He attacks this elderly woman. He stabs. The woman falls, but he keeps stabbing and stabbing. The blade breaks, but he finds another one.
It's true that there was a knife with a broken blade found in the kitchen next to the murdered woman's body.
He's running again, a little girl. He attacks her and slashes her throat.
Olena! Olena! Olena!
Olena, have some water.
She needs outside. Roman's spirit is here. He kneels and asks to forgive him for killing them all.
This can't be real. How is this even possible?
He loved his mother and his children a lot. He couldn't have done it.
Roman didn't want to murder his family. He was murdering the woman he'd taken from the morgue and who he kept seeing next to him. The demon played tricks on him, so he didn't know he was murdering his family.
He wanted to rid himself of the devil.
And then I realized who the woman whose image I kept seeing was. It was Roman's late aunt, but it wasn't her spirit, but a devil that assumed her appearance. And the demon was laughing at the poor man because it got what he wanted. Roman's mind.
He's praying, feeling the demon is still in him, and he's trying to rid himself of it. I feel the smell of burnt cloth. Did he try to burn himself?
The carpet was burned.
It started burning from the candle.
Everything was shrouded in smoke.
The experts concluded that Roman's body was burned. His pants burned completely, and his body was covered in first-degree burns.
But the man didn't die from the burns. His throat was slashed.
Roman slashed his throat himself.
This is incomprehensible. Did the man really murder all his family and then slash his own throat? But how did he do it?
Roman was an ex-serviceman and used to serve in special military forces. He knew how to administer the right wounds so that a person wouldn't survive.
The knife that was used as the weapon didn't disappear. It was in the house. But what matters most is that there were 2 knives.
2 murder weapons, 2 knives, were found on site. One of them was broken and was lying next to Roman's mother, and the other one was found in the room next to his hand. The murderer took the knives in the house.
The werewolf was Roman. The demon took possession of him occasionally, but above all, he inherited the demon from his father, whom it had destroyed as well.
He was schizophrenic, and he jumped under the train himself.
When a spirit or a demon takes possession of somebody, it simply squeezes out the person's consciousness, and they become weird. What we think of as insanity can, in reality, be obsession.
Thank you very much. The truth is a hard pill to swallow, but we needed to hear it.
The family's friends and relatives are struck dumb. A model family man took the lives of those who he loved most. A shocking case. A 6-year-old boy vanishes from a playground right outside his home. He was found 2 days later, dead. No witnesses. No clues. Can the psychics solve a brutal crime that happened over 10 years ago and expose the killer? A quiet courtyard in a residential neighborhood in a regional Ukrainian city. Children play on the playground. Nothing suggests that within moments, a mother's heart will be torn apart by fear, anguish, and grief. That was the reality for Natalia Kozak. She was 32 when her son was born, after years of thinking motherhood was no longer in her future. That's why she named him Bohdan. At the time of his death, the boy was just 6 years old.
It happened on the 4th of September. He went out to play during the day, and I never saw him again. He didn't come back.
It was Saturday, no kindergarten that day. Bohdan spent the morning helping his mother with chores.
Around noon, he took out the trash. Then he came back, had lunch, and said, "Mama, can I go out to play?" I said, "Of course." He went out into the yard. I could see him from the window.
Around 2:30 p.m., her son called up to her.
He asked me to make him some dumplings.
The kitchen windows where Natalia went to make dumplings faced the opposite side of the building, away from the playground. While she cooked, her son disappeared.
I went to the kitchen. 15 or 20 minutes passed. I came back and looked out the window. He was gone. I went out to look for him.
Worried, the mother searched every nearby courtyard. She asked neighbors about little Bohdan, but he was nowhere to be found. No one didn't know where he could have gone.
Everyone just got really scared then.
The terror Natalia felt is impossible to describe. Her son had never gone anywhere without permission.
I went to the police and reported him missing. We searched all night with the officers. There were 2 teams.
By Sunday morning, the military had joined the search. They combed through forests and thickets in the area. Helicopters swept over hard-to-reach terrain. Bohdan's description was shared on local television and radio. Flyers were printed in newspapers and plastered on bus stops and street corners. The second day of searching was coming to an end, but there was no sign of the child. Panic spread through the community.
Everyone was afraid and thought there was some kind of a maniac. The whole city was in shock.
The only place that hadn't been searched was the bearing factory, located just across the street from the family's home. It was a restricted area, and the police only received permission to search it on Monday morning. The 70-hectare territory was combed by both police and military personnel. The child's body was found near the unfinished factory workshops.
A criminal case was opened for the murder of 6-year-old Bohdan. This is Anatoly Kovalchuk. At the time, he was the head of the Criminal Investigation Department and was leading the case.
We are standing at the site where the body of the minor, Bohdan Kozak, was found.
The boy was lying on his back. His head was turned to the right. His face, neck, arms, and back were covered with numerous abrasions, scratches, and bruises. The cause of death was an open traumatic brain injury.
I just couldn't believe it. I kept thinking he had just got lost somewhere.
All operational support units of the Ministry of Internal Affairs across Ukraine were involved. The Security Service of Ukraine was also engaged.
At the time of Bogdan's death, Natalia and her husband broke up. A year after the tragic loss of their son, the father passed away as well. And for all these long years, Natalia's only goal in life has been to find her son's killer.
I've knocked on every door, even spoke to the prosecutor general and to the president. You see, this was just a child who went outside to play.
A mother's last hope to find out what happened to her little Bogdan and who took his life are people with extraordinary abilities.
I believe they'll find out the truth.
Clairvoyant Hala Polishchuk immediately responded to Natalia's plea. She began tuning in while still on the train.
For some reason, I see 2 umbilical cords around this boy, on an energetic level.
Serhiy Kolesnichenko is getting there by car, also working with the photo of the deceased child.
There's something in this case we're not supposed to know.
Watch where you're going.
Well. Where did he even come from? That's definitely not a coincidence.
Due to a car accident, Serhiy Kolesnichenko is late for the meeting with Natalia Kozak. Meanwhile, Hala Polishchuk has already arrived.
Hello. I'm so grateful that you came. I truly want to know who was involved in my son's death.
I wanted us to work together with Serhiy Kolesnichenko, but he's a little delayed on the road. There was some kind of accident. He'll be here a bit later. I think we should find a quieter place to sit and talk.
They decided to wait for Serhiy Kolesnichenko in the local park.
Please hold this in your hands. Think about your little boy. It feels like summer, but chilly. I see the boy wearing something with sleeves, gray pants and something bright on top.
Yes, red.
He's lying on the ground. Was it the military who found him?
Yes, soldiers.
Oh dear. If you had found him, your heart would have shattered.
The child's body was horrific. Beaten, covered in bruises.
It looks like one shoe was lying behind him.
Yes, it wasn't on his foot.
There's a lot of blood and a wound. I see a large stone.
Yes.
When Bogdan's body was discovered, there was a piece of concrete nearby, sharp-edged, weighing around 10 kilograms. It was stained with blood, and there were hairs stuck to it. Forensics confirmed that those biological particles belonged to the victim.
At first, they were thinking maybe it was a rapist.
One version the investigation considered was the involvement of a sexual maniac. However, experts confirmed the child had not been sexually assaulted.
He was such a good boy. Sweet, kind, generous. He shared everything.
He was sociable, sincere. You'd give him a treat and say, "Here, a candy," and he'd reply, "I need to give it to my mom."
He was a very active, lively, and curious little boy.
There's a heart connection here, but the umbilical cord doesn't link to him. Was he adopted?
Yes.
As it turns out, Natalia was Bogdan's adoptive mother. His birth mother left him at the maternity hospital.
He was born on December 29th, and on the 30th, they showed him to me. The doctor said, "Open your eyes. Your mama has come." He opened his eyes, looked at me, and that was it. I had no more doubts from that moment on.
Almost no one in Natalia's life knew that Bogdan was adopted. It only came to light after his tragic death.
She treated that child with so much love. She cherished him.
I feel something health-related, like a deficiency in your blood.
I have a condition, Turner syndrome.
Turner syndrome is a chromosomal mutation that causes abnormalities in the body affecting bone structure, cardiovascular function, and underdevelopment of internal reproductive organs. Even today, doctors don't fully understand why it occurs.
By the time I was in first grade, doctors started noticing I was smaller than the others and began treatment.
At 14, Natalia was told she would never be able to have children.
I've always been, and still am, I think, an optimist. In school, in class, even at work, I was always a leader.
From childhood, Natalia had to fight not only her illness, but also the cruelty of those around her. All her life, she's hidden her emotions, used to the ridicule and scorn they often provoked. She keeps everything inside. And by now, she expects help from no one. But what happened to her son, Bohdan? Who killed him and why?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm sorry I'm late. We were driving when a boy suddenly ran across the road. We nearly veered into a ditch. It was a really strange situation.
I decided to turn to you to find out the truth.
To help me connect with your child a little more clearly, if there are still any items left from where he lived, it's better to go there and check.
Maybe we'll be able to connect with the boy's soul?
The psychics head to the home where young Bohdan once lived. The place he was last seen alive.
This is the building and this is the playground.
Hala Polishchuk stays in the yard and begins carefully examining every inch of the children's playground. Meanwhile, Serhiy Kolesnichenko and Natalia head upstairs to the apartment.
You still talk to him, don't you?
Yes.
You speak as if nothing happened to him.
Yes. I go to work and say, Bohdan, I'm off. Mom's going to work. When I come home, I say, I'm back. Especially when I go to the cemetery. I tell him about all my problems, how the investigation is going.
Natalia gave away almost all of her son's belongings after his death, but she kept a few.
I keep a drawing, a few small toys. His jacket is still hanging on the coat rack. His sneakers, as a memory.
Suddenly, Serhiy Kolesnichenko comes outside.
You see, you talk to him, reliving everything. You're going through every moment.
Serhiy, are you feeling unwell? He feels everything. Your pain, too. Breathe, breathe.
My heart seized up. The main thing is not to collapse. Have you had a heart attack or something with your heart?
Yes.
For a long time, Natalia didn't want to admit it, but 6 months ago, she really suffered a heart attack.
Did you have thoughts of suicide?
Yes.
Because I saw you standing by the window.
I did. I wanted to.
What stopped you was your desire to get to the bottom of what happened.
I made a vow to him. Son, I will find out who did this and how it happened.
But who and why murdered a 6-year-old child so brutally?
I saw Bohdan leaving the playground with his peers, and they were at the factory together.
Initially, it became known that children were indeed with Bohdan on the factory grounds. But the stone found near him, with his blood on it, weighed about 10 kilograms. Only an adult could have lifted it and struck with such force. A child simply couldn't have done it.
But if the other kids weren't involved in Bohdan's death, could they have seen who did it and why?
No witnesses have been identified who could provide any information.
I tuned into that day, and I see him walking out. He wants to call the boys. Let's go over there.
We found Bohdan's peers who confirmed that they often entered the factory grounds without adults knowing. And it turned out it was quite easy to do.
Yes, we used to sneak in.
At the time, there was a hole in the concrete fence, and the kids used that to get onto the factory premises, where they picked raspberries.
So Bohdan came to the place where he would die on his own? But what happened there? How did he encounter his killer?
I'm absolutely sure a man was involved, but the image is still vague. I need to be on site to see clearly.
The area of the bearing factory where Bohdan's body was found is 70 hectares. You can enter the site through several checkpoints located in different places. However, to get inside legally, you need a special permit. After Bohdan's murder, all holes in the fence were sealed.
Hello.
What's the matter?
My son was murdered on this site. I've reached out to psychics. We want to see the place.
The local workers still remember the horrific death of the 6-year-old boy, and they're trying to help solve this terrible crime in any way they can. The psychics and Natalia head toward the scene of the tragedy. The area is now overgrown with grass, trees, and bushes, and no one takes care of it anymore. Natalia cannot point out the exact spot where her son's body was found. She was here many years ago.
It was somewhere around here.
The clairvoyants carefully examine the area. They split up. Hala Polishchuk heads toward the fence. Serhiy Kolesnichenko walks toward an unfinished workshop.
I'm getting flashes, children's voices, like on a playground. I saw an image of totally happy boys running around the area, and then a wave of death scent hit me. I saw the place where the murder occurred.
So Bohdan's peers, who came with him to the factory grounds, actually saw something? But why didn't they tell anyone?
I sensed that the boy was running from someone. He was trying to escape. They caught up to him. Serhiy, do you feel it? A few minutes before Bohdan's death, the boys were shouting loudly, but I couldn't make out what they were saying. Then they ran off. All of them fled, except Bohdan.
If you trace his movement, it's like he was running down a slope and fell. Something like that, that's the impression.
Then he was struck with a stone. That's what I saw.
Judging by the position of Bohdan's body and his injuries, everything could have happened exactly as the psychics described.
But what were the children running from? And who? Why were they screaming? What exactly do the psychics see?
We need to perform a ritual.
Come here. Quiet now. Quiet.
He was so little. He was in a lot of pain before he died. He says, "It doesn't hurt anymore, Mommy." He says, "Mommy, forgive me. Forgive me for leaving, for abandoning you." He says, a man. It was partly my fault. A man did this. He wasn't in his right mind. I see the image doubling.
But what does this all mean? Were there multiple attackers? Or was the man who killed the 6-year-old boy mentally unstable?
Before you fell, there was a huge surge of energy, like an animalistic rage. A strange sensation. For some reason, it feels like two people. But I'd say it was just one, and it felt like a young man, 20 to 23 years old.
A young man. He wasn't in his right mind.
It turned out that several months after the murder, a local resident came to the police and confessed that he was the one who killed Bohdan. This man had been registered at the local psychiatric hospital with a diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia. He had not received inpatient treatment.
Due to his illness, we couldn't legally investigate him. And as they say, even for a 15-day detention, not a single prosecutor would give us a warrant to hold him.
This guy was often seen in the yard playing with little children. It turned out he came to the police 3 times to confess.
And it's strange. I would say it was something of a sexual nature. I'm not saying someone tried to rape him. Most likely your son may have witnessed something. Maybe he saw something and, as a child, laughed.
Yes, I understand.
Baudin's peers, whom we managed to find, said they had repeatedly seen a man with his pants down in their neighborhood. From their description, he resembled the same man who confessed to the boy's murder 3 times at the police station.
There was a building under construction, a 9-story one, still without windows or anything. He used to go there and masturbate.
As it turned out, there is no solid evidence in the criminal case that definitively ties this man to the crime. According to the criminal investigation officers, for the first 3 months, the case was handled by the juvenile department. Evidence may have been either not fully collected or lost. An examination of the items seized during the search of the confessor's home was not conducted at all, allegedly because no visible traces of the crime were found on them.
The only thing investigators are certain of, if the killer had planned the crime or tried to cover it up, he would have thrown the body into the oil waste settling tank located just 10 meters from the spot where the dead child was found.
He would have thrown underage Baudin into that settling tank. And today, we would have had an unidentified person reported missing.
A card came up. A woman and a man sacrificing a child to the devil. What does that mean? Just imagine, this person wasn't punished. His mother or his parents, they knew he was capable of this. But they didn't put him in the hospital. He was roaming free. And someone like that, they have episodes. That's why I saw this doubling image. It's like a schizophrenic.
And it's known that people diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, which was the diagnosis of the man who confessed to Baudin's murder, often have flare-ups in spring and fall. During these periods, such individuals can commit aggressive, unlawful acts without realizing what they are doing.
Doctors informed us that this person was capable of committing the crime mentioned, since he had shown signs of aggression.
We tried to locate this man at his registered address. According to neighbors, he hadn't been seen there in a long time. His mother and stepfather had died. His only legal guardian, a cousin, hasn't been seen for many years either. We were unable to establish the suspect's whereabouts.
And he absolutely must be isolated, because this can happen again.
If this man's guilt is proven, he faces compulsory treatment in a psychiatric facility.
We reached out to law enforcement officials with a request to revisit this case. Perhaps what the psychics were able to sense today will help lead to the killer of the 6-year-old boy. It is quite possible that the man who confessed to Baudin's murder is indeed connected to his death.
I would recommend taking a child, give a child a childhood, the happiness of parental love, and take the child already a bit older than 7.
I believe a little girl will come to you.
After today, it's like a weight has lifted from my soul. It's gone somewhere. Thank you. A big mother's thank you.
2 police partners found dead at a railway station in a small Ukrainian town. Investigators claim one officer shot the other and then took his own life. But the families refuse to believe it. What really happened? Don't miss it. The psychics will uncover the truth the investigation is trying to hide. The parents of 23-year-old Maxim Brenko, Svitlana, and Anatoly Brenko asked the psychics to look into their son's death.
Our life ended back then. Not a single day passes without us thinking about our son.
Suicide. A gunshot to the head. According to law enforcement, that's how the young man died. Oleksandr Dmitrenko, the investigator, he's been working on this case for almost 2 years.
Maxim committed suicide by shooting himself in the right temple.
Maxim Brenko's death was confirmed by the ambulance crew arrived at the scene. This happened on November 27th at 22:30.
According to the investigator, the young man's body was found near the railway station. He worked in the line unit of the police of the Southwestern Railway of Ukraine.
His job was to maintain public order at the station and on the platforms.
On that tragic day, Maxim left for his shift and never came back.
I called the office and asked, "Please tell me, where is my son?" and the officer on duty said that he was gone.
He's forever alive. It just feels like he's somewhere away on assignment.
The parents still cannot recover from this devastating loss. Neither they nor Maxim's friends believe he could have taken his own life. Hoping to understand what really happened to their son, they turned to the psychics.
I'd like this investigation to be handled by Olena Kurilova and Kayal Alekperov.
The case is very tangled. I don't believe this young man was a suicide.
I feel something off here, a deception. It didn't happen the way it's being presented.
On the way to the town where Maxim lived, and his parents now live, the psychics began tuning in.
A sharp break, like a blow, like a shot. A bullet and blood. His photo gives off the taste of blood.
I feel that at the place we are going to, 2 people died. They were in uniform. They are either soldiers or guards. Maybe it's some kind of special outfit. I see a railway.
And that is indeed true. That evening at the railway station, police found 2 bodies. 23-year-old Maxim Brenko and his 21-year-old partner, Semen Jadovets.
Maxim shot his partner after that Branko committed suicide.
I sense a wall, a crowded place.
A small building. Seems like that's where the bodies were found.
They were found near the station's police post.
Right there, 2 bodies were lying.
During the course of the investigation, authorities came to the conclusion that Maxim Brenko, as a result of careless handling of his service weapon, fired at Semen Jadovets, causing his death. After this, in order to avoid punishment for the killing, Maxim then committed suicide with the same weapon.
Authorities opened a criminal case under Article 115. Part 1, Intentional Murder. 2 years later, it was closed due to the death of the main suspect.
I feel that it was all planned.
I completely agree with you. The death was violent, not destined.
The psychics arrived and were greeted by Maxim's parents and friends.
There are so many people here, different energies, all connected by grief for Maxim. However, I sense that the mother of the other deceased young man is also present.
That's Semen's mother, his partner.
This woman also came here to discover the truth about how her son died. For a long time, she was convinced that his partner killed him. Later, doubts began to arise.
There are so many inconsistencies. All his life, Maxim was right-handed. But here it seems the shot came from the left.
The nature of the wound indicates that the person who shot Semen was taller than him. The wound channel on the body, according to the forensic report, goes from top to bottom. Maxim was shorter than his partner.
If you don't mind, we will first tune into Maxim's energy and then come up to you.
The psychics enter the Brenkos' apartment.
Please bring his uniform.
His last shirt.
He was supposed to get married
in June. After finishing university, he was planning to marry.
Maxim met Yaroslava in a group of friends. It was love at first sight. The girl still visits his parents. The entire time the psychics were in the apartment, she stayed in another room.
He dreamed of a son, didn't he?
Yes, with Yaroslava. And we wanted a grandson too, a continuation of our family.
You have a dynasty of people in uniform. That's your beret.
That's my beret. I served in the airborne troops.
Maxim's father and grandfather were in the military. The grandfather served in the police, and the father in the same railway police unit as Maxim.
He grew up in a police family and was familiar with weapons.
His spirit says he did not kill himself.
According to the official police version, Maxim Brenko committed suicide with a Makarov pistol, shooting himself in the right temple either at close range or point blank. In such cases, traces of gunpowder, blood mixed with brain matter, and pistol grease remain on the head, shoulders, arms, and the weapon.
There was no gunpowder residue nearby. No fingerprints of Maxim or Semen were found on their pistols.
No fingerprints at all, which is very strange.
I see that he is badly beaten.
Yes, he is very beaten.
According to the autopsy results, Maxim had no injuries on his body.
There was an injury on the thigh.
His left leg twisted like this. There was a bump.
People who attended Maxim's funeral claimed that he did have injuries on his body.
His left foot was twisted at the lower part.
The head is injured, right in this area.
The jaw is dislocated.
It shifted from left to right.
Bruises on the left side, around the mouth.
I feel a broken hand. Do you understand?
Here, between the thumb and index finger, there's a bruise.
His fingers had been completely snapped.
A bruise of this kind, right between the thumb and index finger, can indicate that someone used a specialized weapons disarming technique on Maxim, roughly like this.
He was beaten. Did bruises appear around the eyes?
A blow to the back of the head. The blood shows up under the eyes.
There were round bruises right here.
Hemorrhages around the eye area, showing up as bruises or dark purplish discolorations, typically form as a result of sustaining a traumatic brain injury.
I talked to a lot of doctors. They all said he'd been struck from behind.
I see that several men involved in this. Maybe he witnessed some criminal situation and tried to intervene, but eventually became the victim himself. May I go to the boy's grave? I want to perform a ritual there and speak with his spirit.
All right.
And I'd like to meet the mother of the second boy.
This is our son.
Your son's spirit keeps telling me, I didn't kill myself. I never killed anyone at all.
He came to me in a dream and said, Mom, I'm innocent.
Your son and his partner had a friendly relationship, didn't they?
They were close friends, both on duty and in their free time.
Near the house where Maxim's partner lived, people have also gathered. They don't believe the official police version. They want to know what really happened to the boys.
You have a well here? I feel a connection to your son.
When my son was born, we dug this well, right here.
Give me some water from it to drink. It's night. Grass, a lawn, a flower bed. The shot comes from the side, the wound, like a torn open heart.
According to the police, Maxim shot his partner directly in the heart.
Maxim, he has no blood on his hands.
No.
The case files state that after shooting Semen, Maxim tried to give him mouth to mouth. But in the photos from the scene, Maxim's hands are clearly clean, no blood at all, and Semen is lying on his right side. In that body position, it would have been impossible to perform mouth-to-mouth or chest compressions.
To understand what truly happened that evening, the psychics decided to go to the scene of the tragedy. The railway station. This is where Maxim and his partner Semen received their weapons and began the final shift of their lives. The man who instructed the boys on that last day insists they were in good spirits, calm, positive, nothing suggested trouble was coming.
We need to go to the commuter train.
The boys traveled to work that day by commuter train.
I sensed that Semen told Maxime about some meeting.
He was sitting there worried about something. There was a conversation coming, an anticipation of some danger.
There were some dark dealings involved.
Together with the families of the deceased, the psychics arrive at the station and head toward the spot where the bodies were found. 3 years ago, around 8 in the evening, the officers began their shift, and at about 10:30 p.m., paramedics recorded their deaths, right next to this building. Back then, it housed the line division office.
Was Semen lying like this on his side?
Maxime was lying face to face with him about 30 to 50 centimeters apart.
In the crime scene photos, you can clearly see light-colored soil on the knees of Maxime's uniform trousers, the soil that does not match the ground where the bodies were found. In addition, Maxime's father says that his son's uniform jacket had a ripped sleeve, as if someone had yanked him hard.
Maxime's clothes were damaged. The right sleeve was smeared all over with grayish dirt.
Maxime's father worked in law enforcement his entire life and knew officers of every rank. Yet despite all his connections, he still cannot learn what truly happened to his son that deadly evening.
I feel that the boys never complained about life, never told anyone anything, and tried to handle everything by themselves.
I remember his phrase, "You don't know what kind of job I have," and that was it. He never said anything more.
He came home, and I could see that he was upset. He said that people had come to them that day, offering for money to do certain jobs. These were people from the prosecutor's office. They promised that if they agreed, they would have money and anything they wanted. I asked, "And what did you do?" He answered, "Nothing. We refused."
What kind of work could that be? To meet someone carrying prohibited items, weapons, drugs. Meet them, escort them, walk alongside, take a bag off the train, hand it over to someone else.
I feel Maxime here.
It seems he talked to some people in this spot.
2 men. And I see a girl weekly. Maybe she wasn't involved in the conversation.
According to the ticket clerks, one of the transport police officers, either Maxime or Semen, went into the station. Inside, there were 2 men with bags and a girl. He approached them and spoke about something, then he left. Sometime later, a patrol of the local police came up to these same people and also spoke with them.
Could you tell us a few words about that?
No, I'm not saying anything. We've already told everything to those we needed to.
The prosecutor's office completely ignores the testimony of the 2 ticket clerks, who said that there were 2 men inside the station at that moment, and a sports bag, and some girl.
It seems their conversation didn't go well. They couldn't find common ground.
The discussions were about pushing the boys into something illegal, covering for someone, or however you call that.
Offering help.
Offering help.
To fully understand what happened here, we need to conduct the ritual again.
People were killed on this spot. And they weren't killed by each other.
It's tied to criminal activity, possibly weapons, drugs, something like that.
I think they walked into, well, bluntly speaking, a conflict. And what was that conflict about? About doing everything by the law. They detained someone or saw something and decided to file it all properly as they should.
I'm not afraid to say it. The boys saw and learned something they weren't supposed to.
I see a gun pointed at Semen.
Maxime is losing his nerves and starts pulling out his service weapon.
The attackers panic too, and they kill both boys.
It sounds unbelievable, but what the psychics describe differs greatly from the official police version.
The circumstances of Semen and Maxime's deaths became known from witness testimonies.
A 9th grader and a vocational college student, 2 friends.
We found one of the witnesses.
We walked behind the corner of the bus station. My brother was there, 2 unknown men, and 2 police officers. One of the officers was lying on the ground, the other was trying to bring him back to consciousness, slapping him, giving mouth to mouth, shouting, "Call an ambulance!"
After that, according to witness statements, Maxime put the gun to his right temple and shot himself. What's interesting is that none of the 3 witnesses saw Maxime shoot his partner or himself. They all gathered after the first shot, and at the moment of the second shot, for some reason, they were all looking in different directions and only heard it.
None of the witnesses testified that they saw Maxime Brenko shoot Semen Jadovets.
And only one witness said he saw the boy shoot himself afterward.
Some of these witnesses had previously been under investigation themselves. They were dependent on law enforcement.
I believe these people are completely planted. Fake witnesses.
What's strange is that 2 shell casings from Maxime's service pistol were found at the scene, but not a single bullet. The absence of bullets at the crime scene could indicate that the killings happened elsewhere, or that someone deliberately collected the bullets.
The perpetrators didn't intend to kill the boys. It was a spontaneous decision.
But if it's true, who are these people? And why haven't they been found yet?
The 2 men in tracksuits are connected to the criminal world, to some kind of illegal transport, possibly of chemicals or weapons.
They quickly started looking for influential people who could help them cover up what they'd done.
It's entirely possible the perpetrators really have serious connections, because the version that Maxime and Semen were murdered wasn't even considered. But his parents believe otherwise.
People in uniform were involved.
Several people witnessed what happened. They know how it really went, but they were frightened. They ran away from here and never told anyone anything. They fear for their lives.
But in a place like this, everyone is afraid to say anything. They fear for their lives. The city is a transit route.
It's a very high crime city.
I see that the case will be solved. Your son's good name will be restored.
We're very grateful to the psychics.
And we will pursue justice to the very end.
After the psychics visited the city, prosecutors conducted a review, found numerous violations in the case, and sent it back for additional investigation. A security service officer died under mysterious circumstances. There were hundreds of people nearby, yet no one saw a thing. Don't miss out. The psychics will uncover the mystery. Lilia Vakulchuk lives in a small village in Ukraine. She turned to the psychics because, 32 years ago, she was separated from her brother Yuri, whom she searched for her entire life, but only found his grave.
It's such a shame that it all ended so tragically.
To uncover the circumstances of her brother's death, Lilia reached out to Roman Latinin, a priest of the Anubis cult.
I can say with certainty this was murder. I see how he grew up. But why don't I see you nearby? Aren't you his sister? I see you were separated as children.
Our mother died giving birth to Yuri.
Yuri was the fifth child in the family. The mother had 4 children from her first marriage. Her husband died in a car accident, and she remarried and then became pregnant with Yuri. The birth took place in February. Due to snowdrifts and poor roads, the ambulance couldn't reach the village in time, so she gave birth at home.
At 5 a.m., the ambulance arrived and took her to the hospital. She died there, but the baby survived.
And I never saw him again.
From the moment he was born, Yuri was an orphan. His biological father refused to raise him after his wife's death.
We grew up in an orphanage. We always remembered we had a brother. I heard when he was 8. Military parents adopted him and then left Ukraine. We weren't allowed to search for him, as the details were classified.
When we grew up, of course, we searched for him.
Years of searching yielded nothing. Then the family even turned to the TV program Wait for Me. There, they learned that Yuri had lived his entire life in a small nearby town.
So close and just missed him by a little.
3 days. We missed seeing him alive by just 3 days.
A cruel twist of fate. Yuri's siblings found him 3 days after his death, after living just a few dozen kilometers apart their entire lives.
He says he fell. He was standing and then he fell face first. A man struck him from behind. Not with a fist, but with an object. Blood came quickly.
Yuri Novitsky was 32. He lived in Kiev, graduated from university, got married, and stayed in the capital. He worked in the communications department of the security service of Ukraine. He returned to his hometown for a class reunion. Around 2 a.m., he was found unconscious near the local disco. He died en route to the hospital. His family still struggles to cope with the loss.
I don't want to talk about anything. That's it. He was our only son, our only hope.
Yuri's adoptive parents are now in their 70s. They chose to adopt after losing hope of having a child of their own.
And now, in our old age, we're alone.
He was in a great mood. People were dancing and celebrating. There was some kind of scuffle. He was standing in the dark, and suddenly everything went black.
Yuri Novitsky died from asphyxiation caused by blood entering his airways due to severe craniofacial trauma.
The injuries were horrific. There wasn't a single untouched spot on him.
Blood was coming from his nose or mouth. His face was so battered it looked gray, like asphalt. I couldn't even recognize him.
The reunion began at a cafe. Around midnight, the classmates decided to continue the evening at a disco.
They arrived in 2 or 3 cars.
How many people were there?
About 6 or 7.
Around 1 a.m., classmates noticed Yuri was missing. An hour later, he was found beaten and unconscious just a few dozen meters from the disco.
He appeared to me dressed in a kind of military uniform.
Yuri Novitsky held the rank of senior lieutenant. He was days away from a promotion for his dedicated service.
We buried him on Monday, and the next day he was supposed to be promoted to captain.
I see a man in a cell. He's locked up. He has your brother's blood on his hands.
The murder of the security officer was solved 3 years after the tragedy. The accused was 25-year-old local resident Ihor Bihatsky.
Ihor's family insists he is innocent of the officer's death.
The psychics are my last hope. I'm hopeful they'll help me finally find the answer, and my son will be freed as someone wrongly convicted.
According to the case file, that night an argument broke out between the men, during which Ihor beat Yuri so severely that he died. The court sentenced Ihor to 8 years in prison.
I see your brother's blood on him.
Ihor Bahotsky's family hopes clairvoyant Elmira Derbentseva can help unravel this tangled case.
Someone else did it, but the police never even tried to find them.
He didn't do this. He's not connected to the murder.
I visited the victim's grave. A man is already serving time for this crime. And I see blood on him.
I also saw the conflict between them, but the man in prison is not the killer.
The next morning, the psychics meet with the convict's wife.
My granddaughter is growing up without her father. She misses him.
He wrote, "I can't take it here. I miss all of you. You know I didn't kill him."
He didn't even know Novitsky.
Yuri was about my build. Maybe a bit shorter. And Bihatsky is much smaller and thinner. Yuri could have flicked him on the forehead. And that would have been it.
Vita, the convict's wife, meets the psychics near the entrance to the local park. Yuri's body was found nearby. The victim's sister, Lilia, joins them.
"Hello, Elmira. I've been waiting for you. I really hoped you could help me."
I brought a colleague with me. Do you mind if he helps?
No, I don't.
I'd like to walk around and examine the area. This is where Yuri died.
They found him here, already dead.
Here they caught up with him.
Who chased Yuri that day and ultimately took his life? Was it connected to his professional work, or did the attackers have other motive?
There was some kind of scuffle here. Were you celebrating something?
A birthday.
But something else happened before that. You had a beautiful wedding dress. So there was a wedding too?
We got married in early June. This happened at the end of the month.
How horrifying. The couple had been happy for just 3 weeks before the nightmare began.
Do you have a photo of your husband?
I have one. With our child.
Please let me see it.
I see a vehicle. What was his job?
He was a driver.
By training, Ihor is a lawyer. But in a small town, it's hard to find work in his field. So, like his father, he worked as an ambulance driver.
He makes toys for his daughter, doesn't he?
For her birthday, he gave her 7 little dwarfs.
Ihor's daughter, Darina, celebrated her 3rd birthday without her father. He was already behind bars, but he managed to send her a gift from prison, 7 dwarfs, hand-sculpted from bread and painted with care.
Little Darina talks about her daddy all the time. Let's go see Dad. I love Dad. It's always about Dad.
Did you drag him there? He didn't want to go.
He didn't. Maybe he had a bad feeling.
Vita was celebrating her 20th birthday at home. That evening, she planned to meet a friend and asked her husband to join her at the cafe's summer terrace. On such a day, he couldn't say no.
I'll tell you one thing. He's in prison now because of his temper.
He's a bit hot-headed.
I keep seeing an object, but after the blow, he was just gone.
Yuri was struck on the head with a blunt object, but the detectives couldn't determine what it was. No weapon was found at the scene.
Wait a second. A round piece of glass. Something round made of glass. Lying in the grass.
Could it be glasses?
Maybe glasses.
They said they found spectacles, but no one knew whose. Yuri didn't wear glasses, and neither did my husband.
Possible the glasses were dropped during the fight by someone who attacked Yuri, but investigators ignored this clue.
I see an image. Yuri is lighter-skinned and your husband is darker. And between them is a woman with long black hair. Something happened.
I sense a fight.
It happened because of you, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
The conflict didn't start here.
It began at the disco, right?
We need to walk further. I want to go inside. Can I?
This is the disco where Yuri Novitsky came with his former classmates that fateful night, and where Ihor Behotsky's wife was celebrating her birthday.
It was after midnight. I don't remember who Novitsky came in with.
Did you notice him?
Yes, not local, big guy.
I sense a minor scuffle here. Someone approached, and I see there was someone else near you.
There were girls.
Vita was dancing. Her husband stood nearby, watching her.
They were there as a group. Yuri came from over there.
Yes, he came from that side. He wanted to pass through.
He walked with his hands in his pockets. The youth were dancing, and he moved through them like an icebreaker.
Looks like he bumped into Vita.
He passed through, brushed against her friend, and Vita was right there. He pushed her hard, but it was completely accidental.
We were dancing in a circle. Yuri tried to pass between us and maybe he didn't mean to hit me, but it happened.
He was a big man. He didn't mean to. He just accidentally shoved you.
I feel your husband jumped in to protect you. He was defending his wife. She was pregnant.
Vita was 5 months pregnant. No wonder her husband reacted so strongly to a stranger's behavior.
He said, "Let's go talk." Walked out calmly, but Yuri was ahead.
Yes, he was.
I saw them as they exited. Novitsky walked out the same way, holding his hands in his pockets and pacing slowly. I noticed he went first.
Did you notice any injuries on him?
No.
No blood?
No blood, nothing. Come, I'll show you. They turned this way.
Where did they go?
Here. Around the corner. That way.
They went that way?
Yes. I stayed here.
I don't think we'll figure it out here. We need to go outside.
I didn't see them leave.
Vita stayed inside. When her husband didn't return, she went looking for him.
Right. Where Ilmira is standing, your husband stood. Yuri was here. I understand why Ihor's hands were bloody. He struck Yuri, and the blood came.
There was blood on his clothes, small splatters.
Those blood droplets on Ihor's clothing became the main evidence of his guilt.
According to forensic analysis, Yuri was struck in the head with a blunt object. But when the men left the disco, no one saw anything in their hands. Nothing was found at the scene. And when Ihor returned, he had nothing with him.
Your husband says Yuri apologized to you.
I came out. They saw me, and Yuri asked for forgiveness.
He said, "I'm sorry," and walked away.
You and your husband walked back together, I think.
And Yuri went that way, where we came from.
Tell me, was it long between when they left together and when Ihor returned?
5 minutes. Behotsky was wearing a white t-shirt and light white jeans. When he came back, there was a drop of blood on his forehead. I noticed it.
And didn't Novitsky return?
Novitsky never came back.
When Yuri Novitsky was found unconscious on the road, he was lying in a pool of blood. If Ihor had struck him in the head, there would have been far more biological traces on him.
People saw them part ways, right?
There were people around. They saw everything.
He apologized and walked away. He looked normal and wasn't stumbling.
That same night, Ihor was arrested as the prime suspect in Yuri's murder.
After the fight, they didn't meet again. He didn't leave your side, did he?
Friends and acquaintances saw us return together. We were always side by side. He never left me.
Ihor came with us to the disco. He never left us or stepped out.
I want to retrace Yuri's steps. People were standing there right where he passed.
After the psychic sensed there were witnesses to Yuri leaving the disco, we began searching and found them.
2 girls were standing here. The women's restroom is here and the men's is over there. They were smoking, then hid a bit further away.
How old were the girls?
About 21 and 17. When that man got beaten,
Yuri walked alone. But someone was behind him. A man.
I see teenage boys and a grown man. Is the man dark?
Yes.
About the same height as Yuri.
Wait. I'm getting something. He fell backward but was found face up. Someone turned him over.
A man turned him over.
The man who found Yuri was his childhood friend. He and his wife were driving home from the same disco when they saw someone lying on the path.
I told my wife, looks like someone finally went too far. Someone's been killed. He was lying there and I checked for a pulse. I couldn't lift him into the car alone, not with just my wife.
He called an ambulance. It arrived within minutes, but Yuri couldn't be saved.
There was another young guy, quick and agile. It felt like he was rifling through pockets.
There was one, maybe 2 teenagers.
They took something from him, his phone.
It's unbelievable. Could a strong security service officer have been beaten to death by 2 teenagers for a robbery?
Were there bushes growing around here?
Yes, along the roadside.
Something happened there. They were whispering. I feel like those boys saw everything that happened here.
When the man was found dead, his mobile phone was missing. It was later discovered with local teenagers who had been nearby during the fight. After the attackers left, the teens stole the phone from the unconscious man's pocket.
when that man got beaten, I was walking here with a friend. We stood a bit further, watching.
Were there bushes, grass? What was here?
Bushes. Right here. That's where we stood. We saw a big guy, maybe 110 kilos. They hit him and he fell.
Where did he fall?
A bit further down.
A bit further, yes?
Yes, just over there. That's where he fell.
They testified in court, but no one took their words seriously. Because they're kids, people think they might lie or make things up.
They caught up to him. One blow from behind with a bottle. But that wasn't all. Once he was down, knowing he couldn't fight back, they kicked him.
There was even a footprint on his body.
They hit him with a bottle. He fell and didn't speak, and they kept kicking him. After that, one of them said, "That's it. We let him bleed. Let's go."
I see two people here, Roman. Two men who followed Yuri and attacked him.
One had dark hair. He was tall and built similarly to the victim.
He was bearded or simply unshaven. Sharp nose, deep-set eyes, low brow ridges. He wore jeans and a black shirt, and his eyes were light, maybe gray. Not dark, not brown.
No, not brown.
The second one had a rounder face.
Chubby-faced?
Short haircut.
Hair brushed forward?
Yes, light brown. Tight-fitting t-shirt with some kind of design.
On the shirt.
And jeans, I think.
Fair-colored.
He was around 24 to 27.
Who are those guys?
They're all from the gang hood.
What hood?
It's a neighborhood full of local thugs.
Really?
Mostly guys like that, always looking to fight.
So they're gangsters?
Something like that.
Criminals?
Yes. They came to the trial. I was scared because they're locals. I couldn't say it was them. I was afraid they'd kill me too.
This wasn't premeditated. It was a split-second decision, a flash of aggression,
That dark-haired man, he was very drunk.
a fatal chain of random events. There were witnesses, but no one speaks.
No one mentions the fight that happened later, after the scuffle with my husband. Everyone only talks about the fight with my husband. That's it. We'll lay claim to the police. We want this case reviewed again. We want the real culprits found and punished, not the innocent.